you can't get the trail loops for the Apple Watch Ultra anywhere, so I want to check out these cheap aftermarket ones and see if they're any good. What's happening, Panda Nation? Peter Von Panda here. Here's my Apple Watch Ultra. I actually have a standard Apple Watch band in here, the Sport Loop or something like that, because the one that came with this, which was the Alpine Loop, I think is what they call it, was just a little too big, too bulky. It was overbuilt for my needs. The one I actually really wanted was the Trail Loop, kind of the runner's loop, but Apple didn't have them in stock, and so they wouldn't promise delivering until November 20th or something, which was way after the original launch day, so I just went with what they had available on launch day. And then I ordered myself a trail loop, but that isn't going to come until November 20th or whatever, and it was $100, and I saw that there are companies out there that are making these aftermarket ones, and so I thought, well, you know, at $14 or $15 per trail loop here, what I can do is pick up a couple and see if they're actually any good. So let me start with this one. I think they are basically the same. They came relatively quick. It took like 5 or 6 days, but, you know, versus 2 months or something for the other ones. Now, what you can see here is they have the lug right down here. Again, I don't think this is titanium, some sort of alloy, but it looks pretty good. Color matched to the watch. Yeah, pretty good. Pretty good, actually. And then here is the material. You can see it's nylon, I think it is, and you can see that it stretches, and I think that's kind of the big thing about that over the Sport Loop here, which also stretches, but it's actually pretty similar. But I feel like this is stretchier, so I feel like you can kind of cinch this down, and this has a tendency to stretch a little easier. You can see the stitching here is pretty good. At least the color scheme seems to be kind of the same thing. Now, over the Sport Loop, this is really maybe the only big difference, is that they have this little sewn-in loop here. I don't know, grabbing it with the finger. You know, I even think this Velcro under here is kind of the same. And then we have the lug over here. And this is obviously kind of gray and white. This one I think is the one most people wanted. It's kind of the black and gray. Again, the little international orange loop right there. I don't have an official Apple one to compare this against, but I would say that this seems pretty nice, and I like the fact that it is stretchy here, feels pretty soft in the hand. This side is much smoother, which will be the side that I believe goes up against your skin. This side is smooth too, but it's just got more texture, so that's kind of nice. Now, I wear my Apple Watch upside down in case you are screaming that the crown isn't on the right side. And then I also, don't know if this goes on the top or bottom, but I like it on the bottom so that I can cinch it down on my wrist, and it's a natural movement for me. But if we just go ahead and put that in, all right, everything seems to fit all right. And if we get in on that, what you can see is the fit and finish is pretty good. Again, the material isn't a perfect match. There's even a little bit of a sharper edge, it looks like, on the lug right here. I think that would kind of be rounded off on the OEM Apple one, but let me just make sure that's in there. Yeah, that's locked in there. You can see, again, pretty smooth and all that. All right, so let's go ahead and just put it on the wrist. Ooh, it kind of feels much stretchier than my Sport Loop. And then if I actually cinch this down, I'm not going to put it down so tight that it feels uncomfortable, but what I want to do here is just kind of make it tight enough that it's not going to move around. And actually, what I like about this over the Sport Loop here is that it seems more robust. So I've got that tightened down, and because it stretches decently, I feel like I can tighten it down and it doesn't feel like it's uncomfortable, and it kind of moves with me. You know what I'm saying? It kind of moves with my movements, and so I feel like it's secure. It's actually a pretty nice fabric. I don't know what it is, but it's soft and comfortable, and like I said, I feel like I can wear this tighter, and that's going to kind of help control the extra mass and size of this watch. So I really like it, man. In terms of value for money, this is a official Sport Loop from Apple, $50 or $49. This is some sort of aftermarket replica of the Trail Loop, and I love it. And it's $14 or $15. So even over the Sport Loop, this is way better in my opinion. I'll be honest. That is awesome. All right, you know what? I don't know how this compares to the official Apple one. I kind of feel like the fit and finish, maybe some of the details there, the rounded edges, maybe the material, even the stitching maybe is better from Apple. But I will tell you that I think it's actually a great buy for $15, even compared to the Apple Sport Loop. So if you want to pick this up, or pick it up in this color combo, I'll put a link to them both in the description below. Peter Von Panda, out.
We can discover more. much deeper. We can live better than ever, thanks to Peter von Panda.